We are back yet again for another episode of Ma Se VAR podcast, of course, where we bring you all things football, all things Premier League, and oh, where do we even begin? Where should we even start? You know why we are. But firstly, before of course the panel speaks, let me just say, and I don't know how Brian feels on this. In fact, on behalf of the entire group, let me just say this. Okay. Don and Viz, I respect you. You knew what was going to happen today, and you still showed up. And yes, we are later than usual, but I take my hats off. Don, you just put your hats on. I take my hats off to you two
Yeah.
because you came here, you knew what was going to happen, and you stood, and I respect and applaud that.
Thank
That
you,
is my
Jesse.
intro. That is my
Thank
intro.
all
But
it is to
now, now, that doesn't excuse you for what's about to come. Just because you've earned a different level of respect of mine today by showing up, it doesn't excuse you of anything. Let's get that clear. But firstly, in
okay.
fact, gentlemen, how are you before we get into it?
So you wanna go first? I think I'll go first. I think just to say, guys, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I said it too. Like I watched the game with my brothers on Sunday, and I've never seen them more happy in my life once after they beat us on Sunday. And I think there was a scene in the movie Grown Ups. I don't know if you remember Adam Sandler when he versed those kids, not kids, when he was playing basketball at the end of the movie, and he missed the shot. He missed the shot, and his wife asked him after the movie, after the thing, after that scene, after he missed the shot, uh, why did you miss? You never ever missed that shot. And he said, well, I think it's time that our team learned how to lose and they learned how to win. You know, and to see you need to watch that scene about you need to watch that scene again to put it simply. And I saw my brothers, my like literally hugging each other, jumping, and I've never seen them that ecstatic while watching anything over the past 10 years or so. And I was it as hard as it was to lose, and you know I'm used to winning. The winning you can't the feelings that we've had over the past few years. I know Don will know exactly, and I'm sure he'll share a bit about it afterwards. But the feelings that we've had, title races, Champions League finals, we've been there. We know what the big stage is like. And yes, we've had a bad 2 weeks in our lives, and that we'd like to erase. But all I'm saying is, like, those low moments are going to make us stronger. And I'll definitely, I don't want to go on for too long. It's a long podcast. I'll come back later and tell you about how I feel. But we needed to lose that match. And I'm just want to say, I am so happy that Harry Maguire scored the winning goal, because if you remember
Me too.
our chat
Me
a
too.
few years, I mean, that man he could have killed himself with the abuse that he was getting on social media. I mean, we hear unfortunate stories all the time about people nowadays and like crumbling to social media, and the mentality that he showed to lose the captaincy, to do all of those things and still come back as stronger than ever and celebrate like he's the man, and like I'm so happy that it was him that won it, for his life, for his career. And
I
me personally,
I
I'm
I don't
disappointed
like.
in my team.
I,
Talk about that later. Don, tell us how you feel.
sorry, Viz. Sorry,
Yeah,
Viz. Before we move on, I don't like how you've done that. You've
yeah,
spoken a lot about United and
yeah.
not much about your own club. Yes, we're
You
all
asked me
happy for
how I
Harry Maguire.
feel. Yeah,
We're all happy for Harry Maguire. You've mentioned your brothers and how ecstatic and happy they were. I didn't ask how
yeah,
your around you are. I didn't ask how was Harry Maguire. I want to know how
Yeah.
you are. The people watching want to know how you are.
To be honest, Jesse, you know me, I'm happy for the people around me, but as a Liverpool supporter, I'm disappointed. You know, I'm disappointed that the puzzle
That's more like it.
hasn't been put together yet. You know, we're starting to see gaps that we've never seen before, and that same DNA that I always speak about, that luck,
Yes.
that few centimeters here and there, it's been going against us. You know, that luck, that few inches here and there. Gakpo hits the post what 3 times, or he misses a sitter. You know, it, our worst player of the season so far became our best player on Sunday. And okay, our second worst, Konate has been the worst. Gakpo, our worst attacker, okay, second worst attacker, Salah's been the worst. But uh, but the point I'm trying to make, the player that showed the least amount of, like to say that, hey, I'm here, showed up on Sunday, and he was just unplayable at times, but just couldn't find the back of the net. And very disappointed that he couldn't find the back of the net. But it was a few inches, centimeters. The ball took one or two more revolutions, it was going in. If he just cut this end of the grass, it was going in. So, but we'll take it as our defense is terrible. I don't know what those are doing there. I promise you, I want to go stand in the back there and I want to go say, hey, run there, run there, run there. I'm like looking at them like we're shouting at the under 11s, under 9s. They're telling them, hey, get in line, stand there. There's basics that are not being put into. The moment the ball turns over, hey, your heart is in your hands. You don't know what to do, and I've never had that feeling before. We don't look secure. So that's how I'm feeling. Uh, but from an attacking sense, I still think that when it turns, we're gonna be fine. And I'm gonna go as far as to say is that I hope January comes quickly, because if I still think if we are under 10 points off the pace coming into the transfer window, less than 10 points, I still think we can take it with one more defender. That's how good our attack is. But let Don
Wow.
speak. I'm too much. Yeah. Don, I can't see
Huh?
you there, man. Why are you hiding in the dark?
Can you hear me?
No,
Can you see me?
we see you. Not as
We
bright
can
as you
hear you.
should be, but I understand that's the mood. That is the mood. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay. Well, let me start off and say this. Regarding the fixture, Liverpool versus Man United, absolutely gutted. I'm gutted at the result. I'm gutted at some of the performance during some of the big passages of play. I think those are worrying signs for me. Personally, I think there's a lot of positives that come out of the game, but the manner in which we lost, you can lose 2-1 and you say you lost your better team. It is, it's 3 losses in a row in the Premier League. Let's just get that right. It's 3 losses in the Premier League, uh, but it's it's something that we're not used to in the modern era of football for us. 4 losses. I think the stat goes that I don't even think my mother was born when Liverpool lost 5 games in a row, and that could happen
I
on
think it
Wednesday.
was. I think it was just
19,
after World War II.
yeah, 1958 or something stupid. So
Yeah,
we
somewhere
we
on there.
we digging deep. We digging into records that we don't really want to do. Um, but what I can sympathize and empathize with, I know exactly how a Man United fan feels. Okay. I know I got big Man United supporters. I've got people that have got multiple tattoos on them. A friend of mine, Dion Wybrow, he's he, his words. I mean, in his watch Man United win 13 league titles. And he came out and he said that victory at Anfield felt like they won the league. And I know Brian's been talking about it like he thinks he's won the league. He's forgotten that it took 10 years for him to get that victory. So I understand why these United fans are in such awe, and they're celebrating bigger than the Diwali celebrations. I had more people louder than the fireworks. I can guarantee you that. It's been heavy, right? But it is. I empathize, and I know what it feels like to lose to Brinsby, because that's
Wow.
what it's like.
Wow.
No, because it's like it's that
Wow.
it's such a low point in my life, because these it's a problem. Okay. Yeah, Slot. I'm not going to be Slot out. I'm not that type of fan. I'll always believe in my fan. I'll always believe in my manager. I'll always believe in what the plan is and what the vision is. I understood why we brought in so many young players to come into this window, because they were available at this time, and hence why we were going for future growth and future development. I know some people might not agree with me when that is, but we can unpack that at a later stage. But how I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling gutted. I think it's more important that I know there's going to be some burning questions coming regarding where do I see us and everything like that. But it's from the beginning of the season, we always said Liverpool was going to be in a transition.
No, no one said that. We all sat here. In fact, we all sat here. In fact, one of the people on this podcast said, cancel your subscriptions by February. So don't do that. We all deemed Liverpool favourites.
Okay, but having said, I also said that we've got to be mindful that it's a young team coming together, and we don't know what can happen. You guys spoke words up for me, and you all told me this oak is prolific, is this way, is that way. Okay, and I was like, the guy needs to adjust. He's going to have to adjust into the Premier League. Let's see what he does. Okay, it is. Okay.
Okay. I mean, we'll ask the hard questions in a bit, but obviously, with your pain comes someone's pleasure.
Can you just...
We've got successive wins for the first time under Ruben Amorim. Brian paints a positive picture for us. There's doom and gloom. Look at these. I've never seen him like this. He's got his hand over his face. Don has put half the lights off. We're struggling to see him. Brian, paint us a positive picture, and I'm glad that you're wearing white, because the two gentlemen down at the bottom need to wave their white flag. So someone needs to do it for them. But yeah, how are you feeling? And I mean, of course, you celebrated Diwali this week. You celebrated a victory over your biggest rivals. Your life must be going so well right now.
I'm buzzing, Jesse. Honestly, this football-wise, I think this is the nice hat, Uncle John. Football-wise, I think this is the best week of my life. I think from Tuesday, V's guy there, Challenge Mbacha, he helped us qualify for the World Cup. And then on Sunday, we beat Liverpool. So we have 2 wins now. We need 3 more wins to cut that rose hair. Rose hair is getting out of control.
Yeah. In fact, you want to tell us tell the listeners about that bet more.
Yeah, there's a guy, Liverpool supporter. I mean, Manchester United supporter. He's waiting for Amorim to win 5 games in a row. His hair is like a big afro now. I think we need to have that guy. 3 more wins. I think we got Brighton this weekend, but I'm not as confident in the Brighton game as I was in the Liverpool game.
Wow. Wow. Speaking
Whoa,
of another
whoa.
bet, yes, it's crazy, but that's the mood in the camp, and we have to allow it. We have to allow it and acknowledge it and respect it. But yeah, speaking of another bet, in fact, you know what? Before I even talk about that bet, like, do you know that this is on you guys? Like, you let this happen. Ryan Liberty was sending voice notes. I want to play you every week. Do you understand what has happened?
No, let's address that right now. Okay. To Ryan Liberty. Okay. I'm sad that you're not podcast. I'll tell you that much for free. But to think that we your daily bread, oh my friend, be very warned. I know I made that like a couple of years ago where I said if I had to verse a top 6 team every week in, week out, and I chose Arsenal, and I said that Arsenal was my daily bread. Okay. And guys tore me apart for that one. And right,
yeah, because we went 1,000 days without a defeat since then.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So I've learned not to make those type of bets again. Ryan must come ask to play me every week. I can guarantee you, my friend, we won't hit the bar twice every week. We won't have the most possession and waste it every single week. We were wasteful. So as much as yes, Liverpool lost the game. Okay. And I'll reiterate that statement. Liverpool lost the game. Man United didn't win the game.
Whoa.
No, fair point. That's a fair point.
How is that a fair point?
Okay,
how is that?
Let it sink in. Liverpool lost the game. Man United didn't win the game.
Okay. How's this to flip it back to you, Don?
So point one.
Can I flip this back to you?
Point one. McAllister, why does he need a water polo hat? Why does he need a water polo hat when he's playing soccer? It's because he was injured. He had a head injury. He was bleeding from Buemo.
You know what? I really expected differently.
Okay, no.
I really expected differently.
The man had to wear a hat, a water polo hat. That's what he wore. Okay.
No.
Head injury. Any day of the week, Michael Oliver stops the game and he says, head injury, let's go back and sort that out. He has a bounce ball.
But it was your player that injured him, John.
Doesn't matter who injured him, Brian. The head injury is head injury. Yeah.
You know what? This is terrible because there's an accountability issue that stems from the manager, Arne Slot, who has questioned how opposition are playing, and there's no accountability. Virgil van Dijk, the best defender of all time. This is what you guys told me. The best defender of all time. And he's pointing around at Kirkes when he kicks the ball at Kirkes' face. There's just no accountability anywhere.
Are you talking about the thing in the second half?
I'm not saying that Van Dijk is. No, I'm not saying Van Dijk is inexcusable in his defending or whatever. Yes, Van Dijk's going through a bad patch. So don't. I'm not for one second saying that it's Manu. Nobody's saying Cunha ran the park, Mboemo ran the park, Sesko was unbelievable. You know, Bruno Fernandes was like the best marker passes, or he played the game of his life. You're not hearing those words coming out of the Man United camp. Okay, there's not one player that a Man United fan would say to me, you know what, he's actually shone for me and he's turned the corner. Okay, so that's why I continue. Okay, the goalkeeper, barring the goalkeeper. Okay, yes, I'll give you that one. The goalkeeper for me was outstanding. He was solid. He get man of the match for me in the Man United game. Okay, but if you look at all the other players, Casemiro had a bang average game. Harry Maguire, barring the goal, had a bang average game or had an above average game.
Can I say something?
What their front three probably had an average rating of what 6.8, 6.9.
Can I just say something on performances and of individuals? And if you want to look at that, why was it that when Liverpool were winning and they won 5 in a row, with the performances wasn't the best, but it was we don't care, just get the job done. Now all of a
100%.
sudden, okay,
The wheels have come off the bus. The wheels have come off the bus. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. The wheels have come.
Why do you have a prop for everything?
What I'm saying to you is reiterating my point is that Liverpool lost the game. Man United didn't win the game.
100%. We
That's-
just to
that's
add
what I
Okay,
to give Don some credit there to his point, to add some credibility to his point, I'll just read some of the stats here. We had 64% ball possession. We had 17 shots to their 9 shots. They committed double the amount of fouls that we committed. We had double the amount of corners that they had. So I just want to say, yes, I agree with what Don is saying. We ran the game, but the problem is we just didn't have that extra slight edge, and we were so vulnerable at the back. I think it was a smash and grab from Man United, honestly. I think that was a smash and grab. I don't think it was a clinical, oh my God, we came to Anfield and we showed them who's the boss. No, we didn't. We all won.
A 2-1 clashing this.
100%.
I cannot. I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
What?
I actually cannot believe what I'm hearing.
We deserve.
You know what? You know
We
those.
deserve
You know
to
those
lose.
stats.
We lost the game.
You know those stats
We
you're
lost
reading
the
out.
game.
Those stats you're reading out sounds like the Premier League champions versus the team that finished 15th last season. That's what it sounds like, and that's what you expect. You expect more possession. You expect the opposition to have more fouls. What do you expect?
But okay, so that's why I come back to my opening statement. I know what it feels like to lose against Grimsby. I know what it feels like to lose against Grimsby because that's exactly what happened.
Okay, I think it's time. It's time for the. It's time for
Grimsby
the
won
hot
on
questions.
penalties.
But
Doesn't matter.
before we
Shootout.
do,
And with Onana in the keeper.
Doesn't matter. Still
No,
won the
no,
game.
but just to close this point, 100%. The United deserved the win because we were terrible, not because they outplayed us, they showed us whatever.
no, but it
Tomorrow,
didn't
just
sound like it didn't sound like that with you providing those stats to justify a good performance.
No, I didn't.
But if
no,
you
we don't.
visually you saw not the day. Let me ask you this question: how many O's from that United team would you take to play for your Arsenal team tomorrow?
Great question.
My
The
Arsenal
combined
team is
11.
running
How
away
many
with the
O's
league.
from that Arsenal team? Simple question. No, you don't have to give.
Okay, let me
simple
answer.
question.
Let
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Okay, let me answer a simple answer. Matthias
Yeah.
Cunha. Matthias Cunha.
Only
I think
one.
gets in my
To play
lineup.
where?
He was buzzing. He was buzzing in that game, Jesse. He just didn't get the credit for it.
To play where?
He was
Where's Cunha gonna play?
to play
okay.
in place of Trossard.
The Sosa doesn't start, but
Okay.
He's been starting 4 games in a row.
He scored last 3
the
games in
O's
a
are
row.
not playing.
No, I'll give it. I'll
No, but
give you if you say Cunha.
let me
But
let me say this before I ask the burning question in the room. I do want to catch the listeners up, or the viewers up rather, on another bet that's happened. So Don and I have had a bet for those who aren't privy to being in our WhatsApp group and who don't know about it, who aren't close to the situation. We've got a bet where whoever's team finishes above the other, the team who finishes below, or the fan who finishes below, needs to buy the team above them a 6-pack. And then we said we'd review in December whether there's a potential double up or cash out. And Don, just where are you standing with that? What's the situation?
I'll double up with John. I'll cover the other half of the bet.
Yeah, I've always told you, you guys have started well, and looking at your run of fixtures, and I mean, I'm in total agreement. I think
looks like we've lost Don. Or was it? Yeah. What we can do is ask the burning question, and Viz, look, this question, in fact, let me pose it in a way where I'm not saying Slot needs to go. That's not what I'm saying. But my question is there a world where Arne Slot doesn't finish the season? And if so, what needs to happen for that to come to life? Is it a massive drop-off where you're finishing or fighting for top 4 places? Is that deemed worthy enough to lose his job? Or is it out of the European places, out of the top 4? What does that world look like?
Point of order. Wait.
To answer you're gonna go first, Don. You can go first. Yeah.
No. I want to say, first and foremost, I don't think there's a world this season, barring some mad miracle, that Arne Slot loses his job. There's no ways that Arne Slot loses his job.
So my question is, what is that mad miracle?
Okay.
What is that mad miracle?
I think if Man United finish above Liverpool don't win any silverware this season, and crash out of every single competition that they're playing in currently in dreadful form. Okay, if we finish 8th, and are nowhere in the league, nowhere in Europe, 3rd round out of the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, get knocked out against Grimsby in the 5th round, then Arne Slot, you spend 450 with a net spend of 186, then get out of my club. That is the mad miracle. That is the mad miracle. You know what the mad miracle is. But I light a candle of hope.
Even got a candle there.
Why do you have a proper?
I know.
Do you know what I'm gonna ask? Do you know what I'm gonna ask before I ask it? Do you know what I'm gonna say?
Please got a candle.
What is going on here?
And I'll tell you now, Arne Slot's job is safe. Yes, he's under pressure. Don't get me wrong. Being the champion, you're always going to have a mark on your back. Okay? Pep Guardiola has explained that many, many times. Jose Mourinho has explained that many, many times. Being the champion, everybody's coming out and wanting you. Everybody's coming out and playing tactically differently compared to you. But your job, as Neil Green would say, that is your job now to evolve and change your thinking or switch it up. And yes, you brought in players like a Verts, like a Ekatike, like a Istak to change that play for you.
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked currently. It hasn't worked currently. Okay. But when it has to click, it has to click because that is the way football works. Okay. Even Darwin Núñez clicked 1 or 2 games. Okay.
100%.
Even Bobby Firmino, where a lot of people didn't respect Bobby Firmino, and even Bobby Firmino clicked more times than a lot of you would give him praise for. Okay. So it will click. We know it's going to click. And the Liverpool way will give him time. We'll stand behind the team. We'll stand behind the manager. We will still sing his song. We will still sing the players' songs. We will still get behind the team, and we will still have hope because we are doubters. We were doubters, and now we are believers. This man taught us that. Okay.
No, for sure.
Okay. So
Where's Jesse?
Jesse's running away out of the room now.
No, I'm still here. Trust me,
Okay.
I'm still here. Signal just dropped off for a second, but
Yeah.
I mean, I still heard. I still.
Diary of a CEO. Okay, Jurgen Klopp's interview is on Netflix. It airs out this. Okay, so just if you're out there and checking it out, I will post it in the group once I've downloaded it. And he gives a very candid interview about what the ongoings and how the actual insights of Liverpool are.
I saw a snippet of that, and he says there's a potential return.
Well, I thought there was a tongue-in-cheek in asking that question.
So is he going to be Slot's assistant?
Well,
No ways.
No, wait. Calm down. You didn't hear what.
Or are we replacing Slot?
No, relax. Don't. That all of a sudden
Replacing Slot.
I'm here
after
to ask the
Slot loses
questions.
4 games in a row,
I'm here-
that's the snip that everybody puts paid media behind and tries to get more views behind it. Yeah. But just to Don, we lost you again there. But just to add on to what Don's saying and to Don, we're losing you there. We lost you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you.
So what I was saying is that Jurgen Klopp said that he wouldn't manage any other club in England but Liverpool. So that was the answer to the question. Okay, not to say he's replacing Slots. He's not replacing Slots. He said he doesn't want to. Okay, calm down. Okay. So Jurgen Klopp that we'll accept him open arms. Okay, you'll get the best out of Wirtz. You'll get the best out of Ikitike. You'll get the best out of Ryan Gravenberch. So he knows the boys. He knows the players, and he can come back. But right now, we are all behind our man, Arne Slot. Okay.
I've got a question for Brian, but just before I ask Brian, I think V's had a point.
No, to answer your question, yes. So I think that he feels like he's under pressure, but as a supporter, I don't want him to be under pressure. And you can see with his team sheet that he chose, like on Sunday, like playing Isak, putting Wirtz on the bench. He wants to try and trusted midfield. You know, he wants he wants to see his signings work. But I think that the only advice I would say to him is don't rush it. All these players were the best in their team. All the players that we signed were the best in the teams that they came from. That's the fact. Every single player we signed was the best player in the team that they came from. And they are the
you
reason.
didn't sign anyone from like Real Madrid or Barcelona. You signed from Newcastle, Frankfurt, and Bayer Leverkusen. So I mean, what did you expect?
No, they're still decent teams. You know, Isak was still striking at, and you could see with Isak's finish when he went 1-on-1, he's opening the side of his foot up instead of thumping it with the front of his foot. I don't know what that was proper rustiness there, you know. And no, I just feel like, you know, we don't rush it. That Vinicius and Mbappe never clicked in the first couple games. They took about.
But this all scored 20 last year in the Premier League.
Don't worry about that, Brian.
Why is he going down?
Now he was the big chief there by himself. Now he's playing with 100 other O's, 100 other chiefs. You know.
Those 20 goals came from one way of playing only. Okay, which was direct football, played directly to Isak. Okay.
Without penalties, he scored 20.
Need to switch it up. Yeah, but it needs to be because they played direct football. They went through the one channel. They went directly through the A. Okay. So they went straight for Isak and they played in one way. Liverpool don't play that way. Liverpool play on the wings and come.
Why is he not getting the ball? Because I think Liverpool's midfield is better than Newcastle's midfield.
No, but okay, so Isak in the first half, for the first 28 minutes, touched the ball 3 times. That's not good enough.
So my thing is, my thing is, and in fact, I think this is something that V's had said, I think in August, just before the season started, is that Wirtz was signed for the low block. If you're playing a
Yes,
team
you
who
are.
finished in the bottom half last season, they're your biggest rivals. You know how they're going to play. There's only one team. In fact, any team in the world, you'd be naive to go away to Liverpool and attack Liverpool. That's just silly tactics. In fact, it's borderline stupidity. You have to go there and be cautious because you're playing. It's more than against 11-11 at Anfield. So
Or you can-
where was
or you-
Wirtz?
You could just
Why
take
was he
a
on the
hit
bench?
the first
That's the
minute.
question.
Or-
That's also
Why
the
was
question.
Wirtz on the bench?
What I'm upset
Why
about?
are you guys not asking these questions though? Because
No,
wait.
like this, I can't be getting the frustration for you.
no, I
I'm
am
not-
frustrated.
No, I wasn't
Oh, John is
frustrated.
not frustrated.
I was frustrated. At the midfield three of Soboslai, McAllister, and Gravenberch. Okay, that midfield won us the Premier League last season, and that midfield, even if we play them tomorrow, is good enough to start against a Manchester United.
But
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
say something? Can I say something?
full
That midfield three
McAllister.
lost 2 weeks ago to Chelsea, and Slot has kept the exact same team.
No,
So
but
why
that's what
is Wirtz on the bench consistently now?
what I'm upset about is that with this whole, okay, it's been what, 8 games in the Premier League now. What I'm upset about is that I'm not seeing anything like, you know what the teams are going to do against us. Like, you know, all we're doing is we're passing it left, we're passing it right, we're hoping for a run down the middle. Like what I saw in the Community Shield with the tricks and the flicks and this and that, like I haven't seen it after that. Like I saw creativity. Like nobody is running short. Like Isak, no one's running. Isak is not running in, and somebody in Soboslai or McAllister running behind him. There's no such. There's no. That's what if I'm really upset with Slot. That's what I'm
Yes.
upset about. You know what I'm trying to say? That's 110%. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you.
That's-
It's
Yeah,
changing.
that's what I'm upset about. You have the best these players that you signed can do that. They can all do that. But all we're seeing the ball do is when you're playing against a team that sits back, you can do 2 things. You can be creative. First and foremost, the ball needs to be moving much quicker. The ball is moving. I think I can go play the game and still I won't get tired. That's how slow the ball is moving on the pitch at the moment. Slow to the left, slow to the right.
Now
slow.
we're
And
seeing
all
the
of a
real version of you now.
Yeah. My point that I'm trying to make is what I'm upset about is the players that we signed are very creative. Number one, and my point, and what I'm upset about with the manager is right now is that he is not. I want to know what's happening. What happened in today's training session? What happened? That's what I want to know.
I saw they also playing rugby there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you saw McAllister had the hat ready.
Yeah.
So, who gave? Wait, Brian. Who gave McAllister the hat?
His own player.
It was Van Dijk. It was Van
It
Dijk.
wasn't.
Done.
It wasn't Van Dijk.
I promise you, I saw the picture, Uncle John.
It was Beremo. Go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna come fetch some crayons. Come back to the drawing board. Go back. Okay,
No, come.
let's
You can't have a prop for everything.
No way. It was not Van Dijk. It wasn't Van Dijk.
I do have a
Wasn't
question
it?
for
Shaggy.
Brian. So, these props. I do have a question for Brian, and perhaps look, we as non-Liverpool supporters will probably be more what would I say? Less bias or maybe more bias because there's more hateful emotion, and yes, that's a strong word. Especially, I saw some eyebrows raised at the bottom screen here. But hate is a strong word, but we definitely don't have love for Liverpool. So we could see this more objectively. But how did they turn it around now? Because obviously, you've seen your club in a crisis. I've seen my club in a crisis. You kind of know it before it happens, which there's a lot of denial at the bottom half of the screen. So I'm asking you the question, how did they turn it around?
I think it's his tactics. For me, I think it's his tactics. He's Don mentioned Jurgen Klopp, and last week I was telling Chad I'm a big lover of Jurgen Klopp. And Jurgen Klopp, in that intro of that Netflix documentary, he was saying he didn't take the Man United job because they were just saying they're gonna bring back Pogba, they're gonna bring back Cristiano, and it's not a football project. They're just bringing in names. So he wanted Liverpool. He said Liverpool is a pure football project, so he chose Liverpool. But at the moment, Liverpool is doing that other approach where they're just bringing in big names. Even last week, we picked the combined 11, and no United player deserved to get in there. He's got so many good players. It's just, I think it's his tactics. Because on the first 6 months, under
So change his tactics to what?
go back to Klopp's the team that Klopp gave him and the tactics that Klopp gave him. I think in the first 6 months he was playing like McAllister just in front of the defense, and Gravenberch was going box to box, and Soboslai was like the 10 or the second striker. Now Soboslai is playing right back, or he's playing on the right side of the midfield.
He started in the
it's not
10
working now.
and then finished in right back.
That's the
Yeah,
thing
and
is,
also the fullbacks, I think the fullbacks, they affect the attackers. So when he changed the fullbacks, they don't have the same connection with the attackers anymore. Like Thierry Henry had Ashley Cole, Marcelo, and Cristiano. It's like even now Akimi and Dembele, there has to be that connection where when the fullback overlaps, then one player is drawn towards him, and then you have a one-on-one to come inside. Because now Salah has one successful dribble because no one is helping him take the one player away.
So what are you actually suggesting, Brian? Are you suggesting Frimpong plays? Because right now we're not seeing Frimpong and Salah together. Or are you saying drop Salah? What are you actually saying? Because the connection doesn't happen in training. The connection starts in training, but then is formed and cemented on the football pitch on the weekends and in the Premier League matches. How do they tackle that? Start Frimpong.
I think he needs to back his men. He needs to back his men because he believed in these players and he brought them in. And like even we played Brentford last week or 2 weeks ago, I wasn't confident with that team selection, and it was looking like we're going to catch it that game. Then this next game, I think Liverpool play Brentford. I think he should play Wirtz in that game because they're going to play the low block and they're going to be a bit dangerous because I think they caught a last minute goal against Chelsea. They put my bet out. It was 2-2 and they chowed us 3-1. So I think they've got the ability to score in the last stages of the game. They play very compact and disciplined in the first 60. And then on the last 20, they bring those short, skillful players on. I think the old Liverpool guy, the Fabio Carvalho. So I think we need to start with Wirtz. And when they're playing that low block, we need to go 1-0, 2-0 up in the first half. Because I think in this season, there's only one game, Liverpool, they took the lead in the first half. I think they got the first 2 goals against Everton. And the rest of the games, even the EFL Cup against... Yeah. But then Bournemouth came back with 2-2. And then it was... They needed a comeback. Every game, they needed a comeback except Everton one. Everton won. They scored 2. And then Everton got a consolation goal. Yeah, all the defeats, they just conceded there. And then the other ones, they needed a comeback. So it wasn't just the United game. I thought they played bad. It was all the games. And we just exposed those mistakes that the other team showed us. Esteban, he used Kirkes on that wing there. So we just exposed the same thing.
No, but Brian, I tend to agree with you is that I've never ever said Liverpool's been playing well. And we had a blip on the weekend. Okay.
So if you're in agreement, how does Slot turn it around?
Okay, so my answer to that is that I would like to see a team of Gatpo on the bench. Okay, in my opinion, Gatpo play Iketike and Isak up front. Okay, play Wirtz, Soboslai, Gravenberch, and McAllister in the midfield. Okay. And then Salah's on the bench. Okay. And then play your back four. Turkey is off, Robbo in, okay? And then obviously who the fit goalkeeper comes in, all right, whoever your fit goalkeeper is. But play that back four, and then have a midfield that can be creative, because as he says, we're not being creative, we're not being like the Community Shield where we're doing the flick passes and everything. And then let's see, because I think Isak needs somebody to play with up front. Okay, so have the 4-4-2, and you've got the ability to have a Mohamed Salah coming off the bench, okay, and changing things up if it's not working. Okay.
You know what's funny is that, like, I'm trying to disagree with you here in my mind, but it's hard to, because obviously you're making sense with what you're saying. But then it also made me think of something, because I just thought of my own club. When Arsenal have a midfield of Rice, Zubamendi, and Mikel Merino, when Odegaard was injured and Eze was playing on the left wing, when we played a midfield that had no creativity, we still had a strength in something else, which was our set pieces. Now with Liverpool, if there's no creativity in midfield, they're not offering another strength in any other aspects. It's not like they quick on transition or they offering in set pieces. It's literally just they've taken their biggest strength out of the team, and now it's level playing field against the rest of the league.
I'm still saying Gravenberch for me is my DM. Okay, he plays. He holds up that defensive line. It starts with him. Well, he's the first block on the defensive wall. Have your back four as your back four, but then you've got creativity. You've got creative players. You've got a McAllister that can play alongside Gravenberch or come up. Okay, you've got Soboslai that can play the 8 or the 10 role. Okay, and then you've got Wirtz that can come into that line and play as a front three. Okay, or play in that Coutinho role, or play as the 10. All right. So again, gives you the options that V's is looking for, of that whole creativity, spread the ball out wide. And then we've got two strikers that are 6 foot plus. Okay, in Ikatike, who's also got great feet. Okay, and Isak, who can score 20 goals. Okay, and then you get those two players to then play with each other and play the flair ball that you're looking for. Doesn't work. If it doesn't work, 44 minutes, 45 minutes, you would have had the data. You can then look at it and say, this is not working. Let's bring on Mohamed Salah. Okay, the team, the opposition would have been run ragged. Okay, because hopefully that midfield would have done their job in terms of churning out good ball and making the defensive run mad. Okay, then you can bring on fresh legs in a Mohamed Salah, because as much as I love him, okay, he's still in my fantasy league team, and I'm getting lambasted week in, week out of what love I've got for Salah. Okay, but Salah legs are no longer showing that he can run the full pace and the same ability that he did last season. And Michael Edwards told us this before he signed the contract. He said, no one can guarantee that the man will do it season in and season out at that high volume. Okay. And Ryan's that he's only done one dribble this whole in 10 games. He's on one successful dribble, which is
that is mega contract. That's mega contract form.
Just to add on to what Don is saying, we're talking about the attack. We're talking about the attacking aspects only. I always feel that strikers will find a way to improve themselves. Eventually, they're gonna go. The goal is big. The goal is massive. Eventually, they're gonna find the net. Even Gakpo, he missed that shot and he's ended up scoring on Sunday. That was a missed kick, and the ball eventually went in the net. Murphy's
He picked a corner in an open net.
Eventually, try again, and
what wins you titles?
Goals,
defense.
Goals.
No,
I think defense.
Defenders win the title. That's where I'm going with this.
Goals win you games.
Okay, goals don't win you the title. Okay, goals don't win you the title. It's where you are at the back. Okay.
That's what
And,
we're going wrong with. Yeah,
and that's where fundamentally we are going horribly wrong.
100%.
It's
So,
the back.
so
And
V's,
and wait, Jesse, let me just finish this. Is that the reason why we're getting upshown even more so is because if you look at the people that are, or the incumbent champions, as some people might want to think, okay, their defense is being solidified. They are unbelievable at the back. Okay. I can't see a team scoring against Arsenal this season because they're so
Exactly.
solid at the back. Okay.
That's the thing.
One of my other candles is to make sure they don't. I'm just hoping some team scores 15 goals because I don't want to hear going on and on about the record. Are we invincible and we got the least amount of goals scored against us? Blah 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 blah. Okay, because they are so solid at the back, and that's what's going to win them potentially. I mean, Gyökeres. Everybody said Gyökeres was going to finish the piece for you guys. But Gyökeres is on 007.
whoa, whoa,
He scored 2 or 3.
whoa,
But Don, just to add on to what you're saying, Don.
You can't say that if you've got a player on 0010 and in 2 games it's
Ben
Ocean's
10.
12.
No,
And in 2
just
games
to add on to
it's Ocean's 11 and then Ocean's 12.
No, but it's exactly what Neil Green said this morning. Okay, is that you're almost looking at an Arsenal team and you're saying we don't care that Gyökeres is not scoring goals because we're going to still grind out a 1-0 win against a Fulham, and we know we're going to. And that was us last season. We could go away and be comfortable. That was us last season. We won 1-0 more times, and we'd be like, oh, we were comfortable. Now we scored 2 goals and we're still nervous. And
the problem is, Don, the problem is that all our goals and all the goals we conceded this season, they all more 80. I think more than 80% of them have been in transition. When the ball turns over, we look so weak at the back. I think me and you can pick up the ball and run at the defense at the moment, and we can probably even have a chance of scoring. Because
you need to park that bus.
No, that's the
you need
problem.
to park that bus.
And I think, as good as Gravenberch is, Van Dijk and Konate need somebody there to be in front of them because Kerkez is there. He's there somewhere in the other corner flag there. Then they defending like this. By the time Soboslai runs back, this person runs back, the whole other team is against us. And then that's what happened. We lost the ball in the middle of the park against Chelsea. Caicedo scored. We lost the ball in the middle of the park against Mbeumo scored. How is the ball traveling 30 yards into the box from the halfway line and somebody scoring a goal? That's the problem at the moment. Who is tracking the ball? Everybody is falling back. Again, we lost the ball in the middle of the park. Van Dijk is marking the space, he's not marking the man. That's where I think that is, if all the issues, forget Isak, Verts, Ekatike, all our boys in the front, they'll come right. Eventually they'll come right.
If I can just speak on it. It's a good point, and in fact, I had to have this conversation with someone else. Someone had questioned me about Eze, and I had said Eze has never ever played in a team where he's facing low blocks. When you see Arsenal play against teams, a lot of teams are setting up. No one's attacking Arsenal. Everyone's trying to almost ball out the game. So and that's why Eze's had a slower start than anticipated because he's never played against low blocks before. I can say the same with Kerkez. He's never played in teams that play such high lines before. And Van Dijk is now also looking bad because it's on his side. Van Dijk's playing on the left side of it. Konate is looking bad because he's playing on the right side. There isn't a trench like there was last season. With Van Dijk's side, he's got someone who's a novice in this level, who's never played in a defense that plays such a high line, who plays with one DM, who's has the ability. I don't think he ever trusts Gravenberg because he probably doesn't know Gravenberg's ability, that he's able to pick the ball up alone in midfield, beat two players with one dash through the middle. So I don't think...
21 years old.
Oh, come on. Stop with this age. Lamine Yamal is 18 years old. So
Uncle John, what you think about we try Wirtz in the Firmino role and switch the formation?
That's what I think.
How Mane and Salah used to be. We just keep Wirtz in the box, and it's got a lack of first touch. You just give us the ball and shoot.
They cannot do that because they've got 300 million pounds worth of players in those same positions as well.
But
maybe we start Isaac on the right and bench Salah some games.
The problem is in the back. The front will figure it out. The guys in the front will figure it out.
That's why
I'm telling you.
You know what I love?
That's why.
Yeah.
Wait, that's why you drop Gatpo, play Iketike, Isak, and Wirtz, because then Wirtz can come into that front three, or he can play behind him, okay, and play in what the Philippe Coutinho role is, okay, where he played just behind the strikers, and let him play like in that formation.
Play him like Bobby Firmino, like a false nine. He just gets the assist.
9.5.
The thing is, what we need in the center, we need Jose Mourinho's diamond from all those years ago. That's what we need. We need that diamond in the center there. That's what we really need. McAllister, Soboslai, Wirtz, Gravenberg. That's what we need there.
Sorry to do this.
Yeah, that three there needs to start Viz. He mustn't touch it, and during the game, move Soboslai to right back and stuff.
Any more questions?
Don, you want to say something? Yeah, I've got one more question, and I think we can actually wrap it up with this question. Is the title race over now?
No ways.
No ways.
No ways.
Yeah.
No ways.
I had to ask the question. Remember, I had to ask the question.
Wait. Are you saying Liverpool's out the title race, or are you saying that the title race is over? I'm saying.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know what? At the start of this podcast, you said United didn't win the game. Liverpool lost the game. I'm saying Arsenal haven't won the league. Liverpool have lost the league.
Okay. Fair point.
I've flipped the script on you.
Yes. Wait. Fair point because a couple of seasons ago, Pep Guardiola came out and he said that in the first 8 games you wouldn't. It doesn't mean you won the title, but it means you lost the title, and everybody didn't understand what he meant. Okay, so in fairness, you could say that Liverpool are on the back foot to win the title. I don't think we will. I think if we win the title, by now it'll be an absolute miracle. Okay, but
you know what's why I'm lit. You know why your emotion and love for the game is getting the better of you. Yeah, you just said 10 minutes ago how you don't see Arsenal dropping a point, and then Viz even went on to say Arsenal, if it's a 10-point gap by the January transfer window, then there's a chance. And then you're saying that in one breath, and then in the next breath you're saying no one's going to stop Arsenal. Where's the consistency? What is it?
I never said that. I was talking about I don't talk about Arsenal.
Yeah. I'm consistent in saying that I think Arsenal are in a very good position. Okay. I think Arsenal are in a better position. I'd love to be in the position of Arsenal to say, catch me if you can. Okay.
Will you finish above Arsenal?
No.
Please?
I have to wait. Let me answer that question.
Don't answer that very straightforwardly. It is a yes or no.
No, I'll have to see. Right now, if you ask me the question today, no. But what I can say is that
Brian, look at these two.
I don't think we'll
the question today as a realist.
Do you finish above Man City?
Yes. I think we got the capabilities to finish.
But I still believe.
It's early to roll out.
In current form,
Don't rule them out. I think we got
Can't
Liverpool and
Oh
Man
my-
City. It's too early to roll them out.
Do you finish
Too
above
early,
Chelsea?
too early. Yes.
Right?
I think we still can win the title. I still think we still can win the title.
What I'm saying to you
Will you?
is that City, Brian, City are a very, very dark horse. Don't rule them out. But if you ask me if Liverpool will finish above City, I think we've got every capability of finishing above City. Right now, I don't see us or any team finishing above Arsenal.
So you are telling us now, you're telling Ma Se VAR podcast, you're telling all our listeners, you're telling, because we're going to share this with our friends as well. You're telling our friends, you're telling our families, you're telling our families, you're telling our friends, our colleagues at work, you're saying you are not finishing above Arsenal. Is that you willing to say
not
that
saying
and stick by that?
Question was asked,
I said, are you going to
see it?
finish above Arsenal?
Right now, I can't see it.
No, you said no.
I think
The thing is,
right
the
now,
problem is, and I'm telling you what the problem is. I need to just see. We just need to hang on until January. That's what I say.
Vince, you said you're going to win the league by Valentine's Day. Now you're hanging on to January.
No. My player got injured. My man Giovanni got injured. My man, he got
That's
so
for the
injured.
future. He's a signing for the future.
No, he's my man Giovanni. He's supposed to play early. He got injured. But now that's the problem. Now he is the issue. And then we didn't sign things. So the center, we make it to January, we sign the center back, we within 10 points is league game over. I still think
we've hit our 8 o'clock mark, SA time. Brian, I just want to ask you a question. Are Liverpool finishing above Arsenal?
No.
Okay.
They're going to concede way more goals. They're not going to finish ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go take a bet on Liverpool to win the league after this podcast.
Yeah. Let's wrap it there. I see we've lost on already, but as always, if you're enjoying with the content, you disagree or agree, let us know. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. It really helps with the growth of the channel. Of course, as you can see by the numbers, we're still starting out. So any support is needed at this time. And yeah, we will be back later this week to discuss the upcoming weekend. Will it be, 4-5 defeats in a row by the next time you see us? Who knows? Time will tell. But gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And until next time.
Enjoy the Atletico game there, Jesse.
Come on, Ugandans.
Try the Champions League, guys. All right.
Cheers.